So tonight's guest is an amazing person. She's a close friend of mine and one of my favorite people to watch on Twitch. She's known for being very lovely and wonderful, as well as being an avid lover of horror games that get her to scream in fear, especially DBD, or Dead by Daylight. Tonight we're going to dive deep into more lore about the channel, what she plays mostly, what she's up to, and how she got on the platform, and more. I'm more than happy to welcome Willow, known on Twitch as WillowTreeFairy, to tonight's episode of Twitch Tea Time.
Thank you for having me, Blue. I'm excited to be here.
I am more than excited to have you. So in this space, we're going to talk about everything from gaming to Twitch, as well as some mental health topics and more. So just grab a drink, sit back, relax, and enjoy. The first thing I always ask my guests is, how are you doing today?
Doing okay. Just been busy with my kiddos. Summertime, so lots to do. And It seems like no time.
Yeah, I understand that. So can you tell me about how you discovered Twitch, how you decided to become a streamer, and a little bit about the channel, please?
Yeah, I can. I found Twitch during COVID when we couldn't be around other people. I was feeling lost and alone and just wanted to connect with other people that were like me, that liked to game. And yeah, that's how I found Twitch, basically. I had stumbled upon it.
Yeah, so where did the name WillowTreeFairy come from?
So I collect these items called Willow Tree. They're like little seed cakes, kind of like precious moments. But also, willow trees are my favorite tree. And there is a meaning behind that. So where my dad is resting in the cemetery, there used to be a willow tree there. And I recently just found out that they cut it down. So I was a little heartbroken. But it was also my dad's favorite tree. Why, when he was buried, that was the spot that my mom picked. Fairies. I love fairies. I love the lore behind fairies, even if they're dark fairies. They just have always stuck with me through my childhood and adulthood. And so I just put the name together and I was like, wow, I created that. I like the name. It just stuck.
So do you remember what was the first game you ever streamed?
The first game, I'm pretty sure it was Dead by Daylight. And then my first scary game after that was Poppy Playtime. And let me tell you, Poppy Playtime is not for the faint of heart. Too many fucking jump scares.
You've played which episodes? Because I know that there's like probably episode 3 or 4 that just came out.
I've only played 1 because I haven't worked up the courage to play 2 or 3.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. You do a variety of games as well, but what other games are you willing to try on stream in the future that are like kind of out of your comfort zone?
So I've currently, if y'all don't know, I know Blue know, I am terrified of clowns.
Mm-hmm.
So someone gifted me Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And so I've been trying to play it. But I'm really super tense when I play it because that's just how much I hate clowns. So I plan on trying to play that a little bit on stream. I would like to play Poppy Playtime 2 and 3. Those were also gifted to me, so naturally I am going to have to play them. I just gotta work up the courage to do it on stream. I think for now, those are just what I can handle with stress level. I am super busy with my kids, so it's hard to like plan a time to sit down and play them. But I do have a time this summer that I would like to play them.
Yeah, I am also like thinking of getting Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but I might wait to see if like the price drops, since probably it's a pre-order price and maybe upon release it's gonna change.
I hope so, Blue. I really do. I will say I do not feel that the game is worth $40 right now. It's a little steep.
How did you decide on what content you're gonna be streaming?
It was Mr. Willow. Let's be real. He's the backbone of my channel, honestly, in pushing me to go out my comfort zone, really, and being a cheerleader in the background. He was like, he goes, I always enjoy just sitting here in front of you, watching you play a spooky game, because you just spit out some of the most silly things out of your mouth. And I look at you and I'm like, yeah, I married that. Yep. One of his favorite things that I say is cheeseless crust. And I can't tell you where it came from. I've always just naturally said it when I'm in a predicament and I don't know what else to say. And don't get me wrong, I have a sailor mouth, okay? And if y'all know, if you've been in my channel, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I have a potty mouth. But cheeseless crust just, naturally slips out.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being like potty mouth.
Some people would frown, but yeah, I made people stick around, right? So that's something.
As I said, you're an avid lover of spoopy games, and more specifically DBD and TCM, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Can you tell me about your experience with the games so far, like given that DBD is known for having a lot of toxicity, and why do you love it that much?
DBD was, in the beginning, it was the first game that I genuinely played when COVID came out. I watched Wazaris on Twitch for the first time play DBD, and she needed someone to play with her, and I got the game, and my love for the game started then, because that's where I made a lot of friends through playing the game. Now, DBD over the years has grown toxic. I have to say that I don't think that it's DBD the game. It is the people that play the game that make it toxic. And unfortunately, it's not just in DBD, but we're seeing it in any multiplayer game where there's any sort of chat, right? Whether it is typing, whether it's over voice, it doesn't seem to matter where it is. DBD has grown a lot, but it has gotten more toxic. You're not wrong. And all I can do, I do get salty sometimes. I'm human. I'm not perfect. But the best thing you can do when playing DBD is just ignore it and just have fun. The game is more fun with friends than it is trying to solo. You're going to get those people that come in and they're going to try to put you down. And I will tell you, I've had people come in and they have put me down. I can be sensitive, but I've moved on from that, and I really do try to not let it get to me. But if it does start to get underneath of my skin, the toxicity of the game, I have to step back from it and take a break. Otherwise, I will lose my love for DBD.
Okay. So you're part of a team or a stream team called Journey alongside some mutual friends. And by mutual friends, I know that, I mean by that, people we both know, like you and I. Do you remember how the process of being admitted happened? And also, can you tell me a little bit about that stream team?
Yes. Okay. So I got a message one day from Miss Wiz, and she had asked me if I wanted to be part of a team. And I was like, okay, what team? I knew that she was part of a team, but I didn't necessarily know all about how to be part of a team. She had just asked me some general questions. How do you feel like playing games with others? Do you feel okay with being a part of a group of, because there's a lot of men on the team, and she was like, how do you feel about being on a team with a lot of men? And I said, you know what? Let's go out of my comfort zone. Let's do this. Because a lot of them I already knew, and they're very kind-hearted people. So I knew that I would warm up quickly. I just needed to take the time to get to know them, right? And it has been a journey, as the name is, Team Journey, to get to know everyone. And it has been the best time to get to know all these wonderful people. We, as a team, are about inclusiveness, collaborative, side-splitting, and we're original. So we are here to create a safe space for everyone. Everyone is one of a kind. Each of us engage in different ways. We are content creators, but mostly we just love talking, right? With friends. And that's where I feel like Team Journey stands out from everybody else.
Okay. What games or what game genres you'd never see yourself playing?
I don't know that there is one game genre that I would not try. I'm all about giving a game a try before I say, I don't think that this game is for me. I didn't think that Baldur's Gate 3 was going to be a game that I enjoyed. I don't know what genre that's under. Is that RPG?
I don't want to say anything that's wrong,
Right, yeah. I didn't think that I was going to like that. I didn't think that I was going to like the controls of the game. But to my surprise, I really enjoyed the game style, the story, the lore. And I recently just beat it. So I was surprised that I really did like Baldur's Gate 3. I didn't think that I would like that genre, but I ended up liking it. So I said to myself, before I say, that game doesn't look like it's for me, I would try it before I would say no, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What are your limits regarding your streams? Like, what would piss you off? I think you've mentioned that, but like in chat, what terms or what things would piss you off? What's the big no-no? What's allowed? What isn't?
I am fairly easygoing for the most part. Now, I do have my limits. Positivity is a big one. I want people to always be, try to be positive. I know I could be a Debbie Downer sometimes. And that's just part of being a human. No hate speech, no racism, no bigotry, no homophobia, no sexism or classism whatsoever. This is a safe place for all. And if I don't enforce that, then it wouldn't be a safe. Those are just some of the things that I would prefer that was not brought in.
Okay. So what can we expect from you on Twitch in the future? Like any plans for the channel, any changes?
I don't think any changes. I'm happy with where my content is personally. I may play more variety once I know that my computer can handle most games. Because there for a while we were having issues with my computer crashing with some of the silliest games. It seems to have subsided for the most part. That's why I play DB quite a bit, is just because I know my computer can handle that game. And it is a safe game. It's like my safe game to play. You know what I mean? But I hope to play some more spoopy games.
How many hours per day or week do you spend on Twitch in general?
If I don't watch a whole lot of TV. So if someone I know is streaming, if I'm at my PC, I probably have several different tabs open, and I'm trying to be in like 6 places at once because I want to be supportive. But I also, if I'm cleaning the house or if I just need something to listen to as I'm doing things around the house, I'll turn someone on my phone so I can hear them as I'm doing all these things. So I'd say anywhere between 6 to 8 hours a day I have Twitch running, whether I'm sitting at the PC or if I have it on my phone doing things around the house. I'm not sitting there for 8 hours at a time. I'm doing other things, but Twitch is usually on something somewhere in my house.
Okay.
Or on an electronic.
So there's something that just came to my mind. You also do, or I don't know if you still do it, but there's a thing that sometimes you, Wizaurus, and Disgruntled Paladin, or as you call her, Pally, do, which is Drunk Gals Night. How did the idea, where did the idea come from?
I want to say we had decided, because this was a big time during COVID where, again, we couldn't interact with, real life people, right? So we became close on Twitch, and then eventually we decided that we wanted to play games on Saturdays because that tend to be when we were all free to play, right? So we got together, we started playing spoopy games, and then all of a sudden we mixed in drinks with playing games, and then it just became Drunk Gals because it was when us moms could sit and have fun with the gals, but then also have a drink. So it just became Drunk Gals.
Yeah. So to the people out there who just started streaming or are thinking about it, what's one advice you'd want to give them?
Be patient. There's a lot of people on Twitch, right? And it can be very, very discouraging when you are sitting at your PC and you have your stream up and you see 0 or maybe 1 viewer. Be consistent, be present, but also be yourself. Don't pretend to be something that you're not, because in the end, it's not going to be good for you mentally, right? But my biggest advice is just be patient, stick with it, be consistent, and eventually those numbers will grow, right?
Yeah.
And it'll grow authentically, and that's what you want in your channel. You want authentic number, but also don't necessarily hone on those numbers, because that can also discourage you, and I don't want Twitch to discourage people, because it can discourage people when they think about it. Just enjoy it and have fun.
We're gonna go into segment 2, which is kind of like a pop quiz / lightning round. You have to answer. It doesn't have to be brief. It doesn't have to be in details. So no stress about that.
Okay.
Do you mind telling me and the listeners what's your daily routine? Something you always like to do and now has become regular?
Making my iced coffee, the must-have.
Okay.
In the morning.
What's your favorite comfort food of all time?
Mashed potatoes.
What's one thing you tell yourself often?
That's a hard one. If there's one thing that you need to know about me, is that I struggle with self-confidence. So I try to tell myself every day that you've got this. Today is a new day. Don't reflect on what happened in the past or yesterday or whatever it may be. That I am loved and that I matter. Those are just some of the things that I tell myself to reassure myself, because I need those things. From me, I need to hear myself say them to myself, because you have to love yourself, right?
Yeah. So if you ever were to be any object or creature, real or fictional, what would you be and why?
I would love to be a fairy. Fairies are beautiful. They get to fly. They get to... Basically, fairies can be anything you want them to be, right? So think as Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell can sprinkle dust on you and make you fly for a short time. But not having to worry about all the things currently in the world, but to be a fairy, to fly around, to be that small, and just be whoever you want to be as a fairy.
Okay. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Just in general?
Yeah.
This may come to a surprise to some people, but if I'm sitting next to somebody and they are smacking their lips, it is very cringe for me. I hate it when people smack their lips when they eat.
If you were given like $1 million, what would you do with it?
I would share it with my family.
Okay.
I didn't come from money. And so it would be nice if I ever did come across that kind of money. It would be nice to be able to help my family get things that they need, or maybe just a cushion for them in the end, just to be helped. But I would split it up, and then I would definitely create college funds if my children decide that they want to do college. Whatever they want to do in life, that is up to them. I'm never going to tell them that they can't or that they have to go to college, because sometimes college just isn't for people. But that money would be there for them for whatever they want to do.
Okay.
Because the sky's the limit.
In your opinion, what do you think is the worst invention ever?
Worst invention?
Worst invention, yeah. If you black out on a question, you can easily skip it, by the way.
What do you think is the worst invention? I'm curious.
Probably guns or misusement of guns. Like, I'm not against you having like a weapon or something, but like it's starting to get out of hand, like probably weapons.
I would agree with that, Blue. Actually, I was trying to think of something, but you're right. Weapons. I would agree with that 100%.
What's the worst video game you've ever played or seen someone playing?
I don't think that there's ever really been a game that I've watched that I was like, I don't like that game. But any game with clowns, I can't think of any that I've watched that make me turn away and not want to watch it anymore. But if there was an It game.
What's one thing you spend a lot of money on besides games?
Shoes, sandals, flip-flops, Birkenstock, anything Birkenstock. It's bad.
That's good. I do own some of these as well. What is one thing you cannot live without?
My other half, Mr. Willow. He's my glue.
Aw, yeah, we all know. Or sometimes I don't know if you call that doxing, but you've called him by his real name, Tony.
Yep, Tony, yep.
Besides gaming, what are your favorite hobbies?
Reading. I like to crochet, and being outside with the kiddos when it's not too hot. Being in the water that I can touch. And I love to read, crochet, and kiddos.
Yeah. What's one big red flag you can't handle in a person?
If someone were to treat me badly, I wouldn't keep them around anymore. If you went behind my back for anything and I found out, I wouldn't keep you around.
This is a fun question I like to ask. If you had the chance to switch lives with one celebrity from today for one day, who would you pick and why?
Blake Lively. I would just love to see what her day-to-day life is like. She is just so natural at being kind and loving, and I would like to be in her shoes for a day just to see what it would be like. I think she's a genuine person.
Mine is, funny enough, I've said it before, but I haven't said it to you. Mine is Kim Kardashian for 3 reasons. One, I want to just see what her day-to-day or daily life looks like. 2, I just want to try and smuggle some of her fortune over to my family. And 3, which is a funny thing, I would really love to maybe try and call her sisters bitches.
That's a good one. I like those.
This is a three-part question. What's one of your all-time favorite songs or a song that you're stuck on recently?
A couple songs that I am stuck on.
Go ahead.
Lose Control by Teddy Swims.
Oh, that's a good one.
Dear Alcohol, it's by Dax, but it's like the remix that he does where he has like 10 other people that sing the song. And the next one is also by Dax, and it's To Be a Man. Those are three of the songs.
Interesting. So same question, but with movies. Like, what's one of your all-time favorite movies, or a movie that you've seen recently and you're like in love with it?
Gone in 60 Seconds, the Equalizer movies, and Saw movies.
The same question, or the third part of it, is with what's your favorite all-time TV shows or series, or recently you've been in love with a certain TV show or series?
I have three. Stranger Things, Wednesday, and the Bridgerton.
Bridgerton.
Yeah.
So if you had one special superpower, what would it be and why, and how would you use it?
Be able to heal people.
Interesting.
From any sickness, if I had that power to be able to heal people.
Mine would be teleportation, but I always say that it shouldn't be like a common thing. You have to either learn it / earn it or inherit it, you know, because like if everybody can teleport, you'd have criminals, you'd have outlaws teleporting constantly to your house, you'd have everything.
Right.
Yeah, that's out of control.
Yep, agree with that too.
So which of these three things would you give up if you ever had to? Money, gaming, or love?
Money. Money is the bane of existence to anybody, really. People are constantly stressing about money, and I feel money is evil.
Especially recently with the economy.
Yep.
What's one of your favorite drinks?
One of my favorite drinks? Dr. Pepper when I drink it. I don't drink pop very often, but I love Dr. Pepper.
Nice, nice. What's the weirdest thing you've ever had, like food-wise?
When I was pregnant with my firstborn, pregnancy cravings tend to get the best of women, and I would make a peanut butter sandwich, and I would dip it in salsa, and still to this day, it's one of my favorite snacks.
Interesting. If your life was ever to be a book or a movie, TV show, video game, whatever you wanted, what would it be named and why?
Any book that I've read?
It's about your life.
About my life?
Yeah.
What book would I want it to be?
What would it be titled?
The Journey Through Life with Willow.
Interesting. What's something you always wanted to learn, but you didn't find time for?
Speak another language. Specifically ASL. Sign language.
What are some of your plans for the rest of 2024?
To just enjoy life. Just enjoy it. Make the most of it. My kids are growing every day, so I'm going to blink and they're going to be all grown up and leaving the house. So just to enjoy life.
Using one or two words, how would you describe 2024 so far?
Interesting. Scary.
That is interesting indeed. Mine would be WTF, or what the fuck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was for like if my life was ever to be like either a game or a movie or a book. But so far it's like okay, that's the title. Like okay, ...
More to come.
So we're gonna go now into segment 3, which is like a fun mini game I've added to play before we get intense and serious in the mental health in the next segment. In this mini game, you know Sleep with, Marry and Kill. You know that game? Kill, Marry, Sleep with?
Vaguely.
Okay, so it's quite easy. If you can't like memorize things easily, I recommend maybe you write them down if you wanna. So I'm gonna name a set of 3 games each time. You'll have to tell me which one you'd play and keep forever, which one you would delete from existence and it's gone for everybody, or uninstall it, which means you can play it either all the way through or just dabble with it a little bit and then uninstall it. This also includes the whole franchise.
Okay.
So Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, and Battlefield.
You have them in all the right order. So Call of Duty would be the one that I would play. Counter-Strike, I would delete. And then Battlefield.
Call of Duty, Counter. Okay. So the second one is Apex, Fortnite, and Valorant.
Keep Fortnite. Valorant's gotta go.
Okay. And then uninstall Apex.
Yep.
Baldur's Gate, Elden Ring, and Diablo.
Well, I've played Baldur's Gate, so we're keeping that one. I would like to try Diablo. Uninstall Elden Ring.
Lethal Company, Content Warning, and Among Us.
Keep Lethal Company. Delete Content Warning. What was the last game?
Among Us.
And then play/delete.
Uninstall.
It is confusing, sorry.
Okay, so we're gonna go more into horror games with Phasmophobia, Demonologist, and Devour.
Well, keep Phasmo. Demonologist, uninstall.
And Devour is
And
gone. Okay, The Sims, Disney Dreamlight Valley, and Palia.
Palia's gotta go. It's a no. Disney Dreamlight Valley, keep.
And The Sims is uninstalled.
Yep.
Okay, Alan Wake, Resident Evil, and The Evil Within.
Resident Evil, keep. Uninstall Alan Wake.
And The Evil Within is gone.
And
Okay, Don't Starve Together, The Forest, and The Quarry.
I enjoyed The Quarry, keep. So the uninstall is you play it once and then you uninstall it?
Yeah, you can either play it just one round or just a little bit and then uninstall, or all the way through. And delete is it's gone for everyone. As I said, it's gone forever. And play is you keep forever.
Then uninstall for Don't Starve. And the other one gone.
The Forest. Okay. DVD, TCM, and Evil Dead the Game.
Well, we're keeping DVD and uninstall TCM and delete the other one.
Little Nightmares, the Alien series, and Silent Hills.
Keep Little Nightmares, Silent Hill, uninstall, delete the other one.
Fall Guys, Party Animals, and It Takes Two.
Party Animals, keep. Uninstall Fall Guys. My ADD's having a hard time remembering the last one.
Assassin's Creed, Uncharted, and Tomb Raider.
Well, I'm partial to Tomb Raider, so we're keeping that. And I don't know enough about the other two.
Okay. Cyberpunk, GTA, and Saints Row, which is a goofy version of GTA.
Cyberpunk we're keeping because I played it, loved it, recommend it. GTA by Felicia.
GTA more like GTFO.
Right? Get the fuck out. And then the other one just install.
And the final one is Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and Genshin Impact.
I like Final Fantasy, so we're keeping.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts, I don't know anything about.
It is Final Fantasy, but with Disney characters.
Alright, we'll uninstall. Delete the other.
In this segment, we will be talking about mental health or a life experience. Sometimes it's sensitive subjects, so I'm going to say this. I apologize for any heavy or triggering terms that might be used. So be well aware as you listen, and feel free to either skip or dip out on this segment if you feel uncomfortable about some subjects. This also applies to future episodes too, so listen at your own risk or will. Mental health is not an easy subject to talk about. Today we're going to talk about losing a child, which is Willow's choice. So I'm going to shut up and let Willow share this experience.
It's not something that is talked about because it is hard.
A
lot of people may or may not know that Tony and I, before Crew was born, we were expecting a child, and it wasn't planned. It happened, and it we were shocked, but in the end, we were excited. We had made it to the 15-week mark. Typically, that means you're pretty clear. Things can start to feel a little more safe about your pregnancy. I went in around my 20-week mark for my checkup, and I left that doctor's office knowing that I was not going to be bringing a child home at the end of 40 weeks. At the end of that week, when we found out that our baby no longer had a heartbeat, I had to go through the process of having that child. Her name is Oakley. She was very small. And what we went through afterwards is not something that is easy on a marriage as a whole or anybody in a relationship, but it made us who we are as a couple today. And some of the best advice that I can give is to talk about it. The more you talk about it, the better you feel, because you know that it was real. And yes, it's going to put people in a awkward position, but the more you talk about it, the more people understand and realize that it is something that does happen and that it is hard for a husband and wife, or a wife and wife, or a husband and husband to go through anything like that. It is devastating. And I had to have my family with me. But Tony was my rock, because the next few months, year went by, and I was still broken. Not easy. And I think about Oakley every day. I really do. Crew was our rainbow in a storm. I wouldn't change Crew for the world, and he's my youngest. But he brought me back. He tore me out of a grief that no one should ever have to go through, regardless of how old that child is. Doesn't matter. They're still a part of you.
Yeah.
Crew, like I said, he brought a rainbow when there was a storm. He made it bright and happy, and made it easier for us to be happy, but still feel sadness at the same time, but made it lighter.
It's not easy on a mother, to just deal with that, and it's a very heavy topic. But like now you have more than Crew, I assume, like more than, yeah.
We do, yes. My other children at the time were still young, so they didn't really understand what was going on, and they were also a big part of our journey. But it was really hard to explain to them what was going on or what had happened. From telling them that they were going to be siblings to telling them there is no longer another one coming was a really hard topic of conversation with them, because again, they were young and it was hard for them to grasp the idea. They all really tried to just be there for me and comfort me. And I can always remember Aria and Wesley just wanting to be near me, because they just knew I didn't feel okay, that there was something going on with me, but they didn't know how to comfort. So just them being there, holding my hand, telling me that it's okay to cry, all those things. They were also a big part of healing.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to say extra, like add to it? Any advice you want to give to people or parents that are or have went through this?
You're not alone. That is one pertinent information that I can give you. You are not alone in what is going on. So when I say to reach out or join a group of women that have gone through the same thing, it's 1 in 4. 1 in 4 and 1 in 8. So 1 in 4 women miscarry. 1 in 8 struggle with fertility. You are not alone. Have a support there. Talk to someone, even if it's not someone you necessarily know. And maybe that's the best option sometimes, is you talk to someone in a group that you may not know, because it may be easier to just let it all out and not feel guilty or burdened, because you know that they understand.
Yeah, I know that it still makes you feel uncomfortable. I can tell by the tone of your voice. It's not easy. I know. But I apologize if it kind of caused you a little bit of bothering inside, or you felt bothered talking about it.
It's good for me to talk about it, because it gets easier over time. In the beginning, I didn't want to talk about it because it was really hard. But I want people to remember Oakley. I want people to know that she was real. And that some people think, wow, she was only 20 weeks. I've had some people say to me, oh, well, you can try again. Don't say that to someone. Regardless if they had a miscarriage at 4, 6, 8 weeks, it was still a part of them for that short amount of time. And getting excited about bringing life into the world and then having it ripped away from you is hard to patch. And it's hard to even think about trying to have another one because of the what ifs. Am I going to make it to that 4-week mark? Am I going to make it to the 6-week mark? Am I going to get to that 8-week mark? And I learned you can make it to that 20-week mark or the 15-week mark and get to 20 weeks to find out that your baby no longer had a heartbeat. And you can make it all the way to the end to a pregnancy, right? And everything was going great. Everything was fine. And then you deliver a stillborn baby. So in the end, just don't tell someone, oh, you'll get to try again. You have 2 healthy kiddos. I'm highly aware of what I have, but it doesn't make it any better. And I am thankful, but those words hurt in a way that sometimes people don't understand. So it's okay to not be okay, but you're not allowed to quit. This is something that will stick with me forever. It's okay to not be okay, but you're not allowed to quit. I feel like it's a good thing for people to know, because we're not perfect. We're gonna have our good days and bad days, and I still do have my good days and bad days with the grief. And it'll be 5 years, 6 years in October. And crazy enough, October is infant loss, miscarriage and infant loss month. So October used to be one of my favorite months. I love Halloween, and I love the weather change and all the things spooky when it comes to Halloween. But that really kind of put a damper on the month of October for me. Yeah.
All right. Willow, thank you so much. I guess I'm not gonna further anymore with you, because I feel like it's really getting hard on you to remember. I know it's very, very, very hard, and I am really sorry for the loss. You've gained an angel.
I do. Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for the time. Thank you for being there throughout all of this podcast episode, and for bearing with me, or actually it's the other way. Thank me for bearing with you, because I kept asking you when you can be, and I know life is a priority, and I don't judge. But thank you again.
No, well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah. And to everyone listening, please love yourself, and just love others as well. If you don't love yourself, you're never going to love people. And I will let Willow end with the phrase, or the words she says every time at the end of her streams.
You matter. You are loved. Have the best day ever, mainly because I said so, but also because you want to.
Exactly. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.